All right, y'all. Welcome to Monday Night Live. I am so excited about tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking to two of our top recruiters from last month, and tonight is all about recruiting. So before we start, though, I am going to shout out some of our top recruiters from last month. I was going to screen share, but I couldn't get it to airdrop to my computer. So here we are. I'm going to call out everybody so y'all cheer them on because recruiting is a big deal. So with 14 joins Emily Cruz, then Carissa Meeks, Kara Moore, Rhonda Lee, the Christina Williams, of course, Jennifer Lamons, Raven Allen, Sheena Cannon, Jennifer Jernigan, Amanda Sessions, Amy Branch, Angela House, Angela Pattison. There must be something about the name Angela. Brandy Babbitt, Cheryl Thompson, Claire Burnham, Leah Brady, Jackie Cox, Nicole Jens, and Katie Wiggins. So congratulations, everybody. That's a big deal. To be some of the top recruiters on the team. That's huge. So super exciting. We know that recruiting is the very first pillar in our business. There's 4 pillars. And it all starts with recruiting. So we are going to hear from 2 different ladies tonight. The Jackie Cox, who is a senior Ruby ambassador, and then Raven Allen, who is a gold ambassador. So we have 2 ladies who are in 2 separate spots in their business. So having said that, I am going to turn it over to Jackie first, and they're just going to take us through their process and talk to us about how connections and relationships are a huge part in that. So Jackie, take it. Oh, real quick, y'all, as they're talking, type all your questions in the comments so we can go back at the end and we'll go through those questions and answer them. So any questions you have, put it in the comments. All right, Jackie, take it away.
Hello, friends. Rachel, thank you so much. Y'all, notorious for my internet cutting out. So please, if you can't hear me, I sound like a robot, start waving. I'll know what you mean. And also, if you're a teacher, you can also relate. My voice is gone from trying to talk over all those children. So here we go. I'm so excited to be here tonight with y'all, sharing just kind of my process on how I recruit people, on how I get people to join us on this health journey. If you see me looking down at my notes, it's just because I don't want to miss anything that I thought was important enough to tell you. So basically, I am huge in relationships. That is very, very important to me. When I speak to someone, it is very important to me that they feel like they are really heard or listened to, they're valued, that what they have to say is important. And so this to me is all about relationship building. And that starts with what people view you as, how people look at you. And so this is really important to do on Facebook. Starting out on Facebook, you should definitely brand yourself kind of like a storefront. You know, what do you want people to go to your page and see? People should be able to go to your page and see what you stand for, what you love, what your hobbies are. Your story should be consistent. I like to share a lot about my families, my girls, funny things that happen, quotes, stories, and make sure I'm posting consistently. Because when you start to add new people to your page, when you start to add people as your new friend, you know, they're going to want to go check out your page. You know, when I get a friend request, I like to go to their page and say, well, who is this person? Who am I, you know, opening up my life to? And so you want them to be able to go on your Facebook page and see what you truly stand for. So that then when you go in their inbox, they already know who you are. They already feel like they know you. And it's more like a, yes, I've been watching your journey. I see how it's helped you. I see how it's helped your friends. I would love for you to be able to tell me how this helped me. So when you reach out to someone, you want them to already feel like they have that relationship with you. You will also get a higher response rate that way. If people feel like they already have a connection to you and they see you in their inbox, whether or not they come back with a yes or no, the response rate of them even responding to you is going to be a lot higher when they think they already have that connection with you, or they feel like they already have that connection with you. One thing I had to learn, y'all, after doing this for years and years, is that whether somebody is ready right then or not has nothing to do about you. Has nothing to do whether or not it like you. When they say no, oh, can you still hear me? Terry, can you hear me?
Well, you're robotic right now, but you were about to say something very valuable. So back up about 20 seconds. And now you're frozen.
Okay, am I back? Can you hear me now?
Your face is frozen, but your voice is back.
Okay, well, how about I just keep talking and maybe you can catch every other word of what I'm saying. Okay. So keep in mind is something I have to remind myself over and over again, that when someone says no, it's not a forever no. It's a shut up, stop talking to me no. It's not a close the door, I never want you in my inbox again. It's just a not right now. So it's our job to educate them and let them see why this could be for them. I was talking to someone earlier tonight. It's not our job to convince someone to say yes. It's our job to educate them on why this could be a good option for them. So it literally takes 8 to 12 exposures, sometimes a lot more, y'all. There's somebody that I found 26, I believe, exposures, until they actually said, okay, I'll look into this with you. Bring new information to the table every single time you talk with them. Don't count a, hey, how you doing, as an exposure for them. Count why you thought of them. Here's a story about you. Here's a story that reminds me of you. Count, hey, there's an event on Thursday night where my friend's going to be talking about how these products changed her life. I think you really could relate. Can you hop on? Will you watch with me? That's an exposure. Hey, I noticed you had a really rough day yesterday and you're going to have a tough week. Can I send you a sample of my favorite all natural energy drink? That's an exposure. Oh my goodness, we had the best team call last night that I really think you could relate to. Can I send you the recording? Things like that are exposures. And then y'all ask them about them. You don't want all of your messages to them to just be about Plexus. You want to really and truly get to know them so that you can support them in life, and not just every time you check in with them, it's Plexus. They're going to want someone that they know is going to be there for them and that they can talk to. And so that's just all about building relationships. And I think because I was robotic, I've run out of time. But basically, it's all about how you treat other people, how they view you as someone that can lead them on this health journey. Are they willing to sit out with me on this journey? And why would I want them to be my sponsor in this new endeavor that I'm about to roll in? So that's what I got. And I'm so excited to pass it on to Raven.
You did great. I can't follow up after that, but you said it all. But basically some tips on recruiting from me are start with social media, showing up on social media and making sure you're being consistent and, making your presence known, whether that be with Plexus or a personal post, and whatever you do post about, make it relatable and valuable. So a lot of times what that looks like for me is posts about self-growth, self-love, mindset, because a lot of times I haven't been the best with self-love. I've always had a negative mindset, whether I realize it or not. And being with Plexus has really helped me grow in those areas. So that's a lot of things that I post about personally, in addition to Plexus. And I feel like that's really relatable to a lot of people. So I feel like the more connection you make, the more influence you have, and the more trusting people are going to be of you. When I do make a Plexus post, I try to educate people on the product in a very simple way. That way I don't lose them mid-read. And anytime I'm posting a picture with my Plexus post, it's either a personal one with me and the product, or a personal picture of me and my daughter, my dog, something we've been doing, because a lot of times that will grab attention. Someone's not always going to necessarily read your post. They're just going to see the photo and comment, and that will get more engagement on your post. And in turn, help your post show up more in their feed and just get more activity on your post. I am looking at my notes. I have like 10 pages. No, I only have 5. Just kidding. A lot of conversations that I have with prospect joins, I really try and keep in mind as far as Plexus Post goes, trying to keep testimonies in mind for them that will speak to them, and hopefully grab more interest. And when I do make a post, I make sure that there's a healthy balance between Plexus and personal, because I don't want my page just to be all Plexus. That loses people's interest, and you'll have a lot of unfollows. And, I just want to keep people engaged and not scare them off. So I do want to be valuable in that regard. So a lot of times I will tend to post 2 to 3 posts personal, and then maybe the third or fourth post will be a Plexus post. That way there's a good, healthy balance. In addition to making posts, I try to be intentional with commenting on people's posts and their stories. And I even go and through my friends list and find people that I don't necessarily see on my feed and engage with their posts more. That way we start seeing each other more on Facebook too. In doing this, you're not only connecting personally, but you're just creating a pathway for people to see your posts more. And this allows for you to build a relationship. That way you're not just popping in their inbox all of a sudden after years of not talking to them and being like, hey, do you want to try Plexus? So at least you're building that relationship before popping into their messenger. When I finally feel like I've connected with somebody, that's when I finally reach out about Plexus. And things that I used to do that I've really gotten away from is I would send a really lengthy reach out message. I would speak a lot about my own testimony. And although people want to hear those things, they really don't necessarily. They want to talk about them. So I used to jump straight into talking about the triplex video too. So now things that I do is I connect really short and sweet and simple. That way, when they open their messenger, they're not like, long message. That way it doesn't feel like chainmail or something. But then once they go ahead and give me the okay to talk about Plexus, that's when I'll start sending a lot of voice text. That way they can hear my excitement, and that way it's connecting on a more personal level when they hear my voice. And I do talk about my testimony a little bit and reasons why I came into Plexus, but I quickly redirect it back to them. I really try to keep it all about them and what their goals are and what their problems are. A lot of times I do try to keep in mind feel, felt, found. I've always been super good about sympathizing and empathizing with people. So that's really been a strong suit of mine. Once I finally feel like I have connected with them, that's when I send them the triplex video once we've touched on their pain points. So, and I do always ask them if they mind watching a video, because I really feel like people appreciate asking versus just sending something to them. And speaking of reach outs, it's super important to reach out to people, because a lot of times I have found when I reach out to people, they're like, girl, I have been watching your journey and I've been meaning to reach out to you and I just haven't. So thank you for reaching out to me. So that just goes to show, consistency is key, showing up on social media and just making your presence known, because people are truly watching and they necessarily won't reach out. And like Jackie said too, no, I have learned to not take no personally, and that has been huge for me. I always take things personally and get in my head, but that's one area I've been growing in. And no just means not right now. And they just don't know what they don't know. So keep following up. And if someone does not respond to my message, there's a lot of times people won't even open my message. And I'm just left on read sometimes. I will intentionally comment on their story. That way I pop up in their messenger, they open their messenger and they see where our conversation is left off, and they'll apologize most of the time. Sometimes they still won't, but a lot of times you will get an apology. You'll either get a no thank you, or you'll proceed with the conversation and get a join. If they say no, I've gotten better about being curious and asking the hard questions. Because they don't know what they don't know, and it's our job to educate them on what the product is about. So that's one thing I've definitely gotten better about, just being curious, asking why they're saying no, and that way I can further educate. So that's a lot of my tips. I hope I didn't talk too fast, guys.
That was fantastic. Loved all of that from both y'all. And something that stood out to me, there was consistency amongst what y'all were saying. The very first thing y'all said was it starts with your social media presence. And I love that. And then I love what you said, Raven, because it leads to trust. And then that leads to influence, which we know influence is leadership, which is key in this business. So loved all of that. And y'all both talked about how it's more important to be focused on them rather than yourself and what it's done for you, but focused on them. Okay, so let's see what questions we have here. All right, so what specifically do you ask someone when they say no?
Okay, sorry, I thought I was on mute. I basically just put myself out there and I said, okay, I'm sorry to hear that, but I am curious as to what your hesitations are, about Plexus. That way we can talk some more and maybe, address some of those hesitations that you might have. Because sometimes it could be simple.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good question. I usually say, okay, I understand. Definitely the timing has to be right, and it might not be the right time right now. Is that why you're hesitant? Is that why you say not right now or no? Or are you already feeling your best every single day and you don't need these products?
I love that. So just really asking again, them. Okay, so like that statement, tell me a bit more about that. No, why is that? Like, let's talk about that. Okay, somebody else had a question, Jackie, specifically about your personal posts, like adding value posts versus social media post or personal pages versus private with social media posts. So are we talking like adding value versus Plexus posts? I'm thinking.
Like, what do I write when I'm not writing about Plexus?
Okay. Oh, okay. So hold on. I have an explanation.
Okay.
Like, do you make your posts private versus public?
Oh, that's a good question. I usually always make my posts private because I have a lot of stuff on all my girls and my family on there. And so I just make it private, and then make it a habit to add new people quite often that can see it.
Okay. Raven, do you do the same or how do you post?
So if it is a more personal post, normally it's private, and not all of my Plexus posts are public, but for the most part they are. I used to keep them private But then I started making more of them public, especially when using hashtags and things like that. That way more people can search for it. Cold market.
That is good about the hashtags. Yeah. I'm old enough that sometimes I forget about hashtags. So love that. Okay, I'm scrolling up. We had a question. How do you pull more communication out of those who respond with one word or one sentence responses? Okay. Or even like the thumbs up. It's my favorite.
I personally have a hard time with that one myself. So I'm not going to really answer
Okay.
that.
I always say, I can hear Christina Williams in my head. Interesting. Tell me more. So, oh, okay. Can you explain that a little bit more to me? Or, oh, I'm interested. Like, tell me more about that. That interests me. Tell me more about that.
I do need to get better with that too, because I have a lot of people that are heart a message and I've asked a question and I'm like, okay, they hearted it, but what does that mean? But I need to get curious and ask. Yep.
Okay, so do y'all always spend time connecting before you reach out? I know Raven spoke to this. So I know she does. Jackie, do you always spend time connecting before you reach out about Plexus?
So, I'd say I don't typically do tons of connecting one-on-one. Like sometimes I'll respond to their posts. Like I'll go and I'll, comment something with a question. Because if you comment with a question rather than just like, "Ooh, this is so cute," then they have to engage with you and be like, "Who is this person asking me a question on my Facebook?" Then they'll go and pay attention to what I post. But it goes back to just adding so much value on your Facebook and in your stories that when you do reach out to them, they feel like they already know who you are when you're talking.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that keeps you from getting stuck in like the friend zone, but in this it's connection zone. That way you're not stuck in that connection zone. I love that. Okay, so something y'all both said also, and this is just my question, so I want to ask a question. Something y'all said, both of you, was that you don't take no's personally. So how did y'all get to the point where a no wasn't personal?
Well, I've always held really, really close to my heart the analogy, and I'm sure y'all heard this before, but I'll go ahead and say it again. If you were a waitress at and you had a coffee pot and you went around to the tables and you offered people coffee, like delicious coffee, and they were talking and they looked at you and they said, "No, thank you." Like you wouldn't say, "Oh my gosh, is it me? Like, is my coffee disgusting? Like, did I do something? Did I say something to make them not want my coffee?" You would just assume that it's not the right timing for coffee. But maybe if you circled back around in about 30 minutes to that same table and said, "Hey, is anybody ready for coffee now?" They might say, "Actually, yeah, my food is settled enough. I'm ready for some coffee now." And it was nothing to do about me or what I was holding in my hand. It was just their timing and they needed more information or they needed to digest more before they were ready for it.
That's basically the same analogy that's helped me too, because I hear Christina say that all the time. And that's one thing that's helped me to put in perspective for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Love some Christina analogies. Okay, so if I didn't answer your question, okay, wait, we have one more. How do you go about following up with people you have sent an initial message to, then send a follow-up message to see if they saw your last message, but they don't respond either. So you've sent an initial Plexus message and then sent another message a few days later saying, just kind of popping in to help them see your last message, and then they still don't respond. What are your next steps?
I'll go first. So basically, I will just really engage with their Facebook and be commenting like crazy on their posts. That way they see me more. And then I do put some time in between that follow-up. Then if I've already followed up, I definitely am not going to follow up very soon, and just, hopefully just build more relationship and engage more on Facebook.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I
a
do.
great point, Raven. So they see more of you. Sometimes I'll even write in there, and usually it's more than about three messages. I'll go in and ask a personal question, nothing to do with Plexus. Typically they do respond to that. And then I might throw in another Plexus question. And if they continue not responding, I've said something like this before. I've said, you know what? I feel like I'm throwing up in your inbox right now. And if you would rather me like take you off my list of someone to follow up with, see if you're interested in these products, please let me know. I do really think that they would be amazing for you because of what you shared, X, Y, Z. But if you'd rather me not message you again, please let me know. And a lot of times that has really worked very well, because then they'd come back and they'd be like, oh no, please don't take me off. It's just not a good time. Or, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I literally read your messages and never responded. So that can give out, or it gives them a chance to say, oh my gosh, no, I'm sorry, it's not what it looked like.
That is smart. I love that. All right, guys. Well, it is 8:30, so I want to respect y'all's time. But Jackie, Raven, thank you so much. This was so good. Loved hearing how y'all make it all about relationships and personal connection, and keeping it about other people. So fantastic job, ladies. All right, everyone, have a great night.
Thank you,
Bye, y'all.
guys.
Thank y'all.
Bye.